What is up, everybody who's tuning in? Welcome to the channel, and today we are going to be ranking all the Marvel Rivals heroes. I have now put over 20 hours into the game, so I think it's safe to say I can do my first tier list, and I will be coming back to doing more tier lists later on once more characters get added. I put more hours into the game and everything because opinions will change. But without further ado, let's get into it because we don't want the video to be too long. And first we got Adam Warlock, and I think that we can put him at B. He has a solid ultimate, solid damage. Sometimes if played right, he can be pretty hard to do, but overall, just compared to other supporters, I think that he isn't that great, and I think that's what kind of weighs him down, so we're going to put him in B tier. As for Black Panther, I put him at C, and I know that's going to really make a lot of people angry when I put him there, but people are like, oh, if he's played by the right person, he's like S tier. And I've yet to see a good Black Panther. I've tried him out. Maybe I'm just not that good with him, but it seems like he doesn't really do a lot of damage. You have to do specific combos in order to really get off damage like that. And I just think that it's like, it just makes it not that fun. Sure, he's kind of fast, but I don't like playing as him. I've never seen anybody do good with him. And I think that he's just a C tier. Captain America. I'm going to put him at A tier. Captain America is a very solid Vanguard. I think that he's pretty nice. He's a little bit more on the selfish side, which is why I'm keeping him a little bit from S. Because yes, Vanguards need to be the one who's distracting, the one starting the team battles, and really trying to capture that point and push everything and kind of have their teammates support them. So they're not really supposed to be that big supporting role. But compared to other characters, he doesn't do anything to really help protect his own teammates. It's more of just protecting him, which is fine, and that's why he's A, but I think he would be S if he was able to do things that could protect the teams as well. And I think that overall he does some good damage. He's pretty mobile, and he's somewhat decent, really pretty fun to play, but I think A is a pretty good spot to put him. Doctor Strange, in my opinion, is the best Vanguard. The really nice ability with the portals and everything, the ultimate's pretty nice. I think that he has a really nice shield because he's able to protect some teammates too that I've also seen. And I think that damage wise, he's pretty nice. He can, be mobile if he needs to. Not very mobile, but I think that for a Vanguard, he is decently mobile, and I think that he is the best Vanguard. Groot. Not gonna lie, I thought that he was gonna be a strategist when I first, was thinking about the characters in this game, because to me it just made the most sense. But he was a Vanguard. That kind of surprised me, and I think that he's a B tier because sure, he has walls and they can do different cool things and everything, but he just doesn't really have a lot for him, like, to be honest. And I just think compared to other Vanguards, he's not that great. Same thing that Adam kind of fall for. Hela. Hela's S tier. Apparently, they also had buffed her too, which is surprising because like she's pretty busted now. I'm not gonna lie. She can two-shot. You just gotta be good with aiming is the thing. If you're good with aiming, then you're gonna be fine with Hela. Hela's really nice. I love her abilities and her mobility, and the ultimate's pretty nice. And I don't really play her like that, but I know some people who do play her, and I know that when I go against her, it can be pretty annoying. Hulk is interesting. I don't know if I want to put him in C tier or B tier, because he can do some good damage. But I want to put him in C tier. Like, he can do some cool damage and all that, but just compared to other Vanguards and just everything, he's just eh. He can do some good damage, and he can really be really good put in the right hands, which is saving him from D tier, but I don't know. I honestly think that he is the worst Vanguard. Iron Man. I'm going to put Iron Man at A tier because a lot of people are like, oh, when you're flying, you're just a huge target. And when you do the ultimate, you can just go into somewhere where there's cover and you'll be fine. But you're not always that fortunate. And for somebody like me who plays Magic and Venom and things like that, it's really hard to try and hit somebody who's in the air. Now, there are a lot of players, more than there are not, that can do that, but it just makes him annoying. Like, he's really annoying to go up against, and That kind of puts him up there. I think that he has some really cool abilities and some high damage. He's pretty mobile, and the ultimate's really nice. He's a really good A tier. Jeff, and let's add a row above, and let's just name it God tier. And let's just put him up there, and nothing more needs to be said. And let's keep going. Loki. Loki is my main. And as much as I want to just say, oh, he's S tier, like he's perfect, I think he's A tier. And the reason the reason of me putting him in A tier rather than S tier is because I feel like there is another support choice that, you know, is actually next up, and I'll get to that in a bit. But I think that Loki's really nice. Being able to do the clones and then the healing pads and everything, it can be really helpful, and I've been able to get a lot of good use out of that. And I love his ultimate. I'm always able to get some really nice things off to help save the team. I like being able to just shoot to damage and shoot to heal and not have to have it as an ability with cooldowns or anything like that. It's just so much extra bullshit that isn't really that great. And I think that he is an A tier and would be S tier. Actually, I'm going to put him in S tier. Luna Snow, S tier. She is by far the best strategist. I prefer to play Loki and everything, but that's my main. But I can admit that Luna Snow is a better strategist. Massive damage, able to stun them. The ultimate is like one of the best. I personally favor Loki's ultimate. Next up is Magique, whatever you want to call her. Putting her in S tier. Now, putting her in S tier because I think she's the top of the melee characters, the melee heroes, because she's able to just quickly get in, start team battles, and just do a bunch of damage, pick off a supporter, DPS or two, and just dip out. And I think that her being able to attack and heal from that, and all the just abilities that she has with her, including the ultimate that just is like really what I wish Hulk was, she's an easy S tier for me personally. Next up we have Magneto, and this is gonna really hurt a lot of people because I've watched a lot of tier list videos. I've listened to a lot of my friends' tiers. I've seen just, you know, a lot of videos about him, and I've tried playing him in like the practice range. I've never played a full match with him or anything, and I don't see what the hype's about, if I'm being honest. Like I would put him in B tier for me personally. I'm not a huge fan of the shield ability. You have to wait for a cooldown, and then you have to pull it up, and it only lasts for like 2 or 3 seconds. And sure, it has a short cooldown, but I don't want to have to sit there and learn how to time perfectly when to have it up. And then if I'm facing the Magneto, okay, shield goes up. I know in a couple seconds it'll go down, and then boom, I can do my stuff while I have that window. And being able to, you know, put a bubble on you or a teammate to defend them, sure, that's pretty cool, and that's saving him from C tier, but I don't think it's enough, and you still have to pick between one of the two. They're two separate abilities, and they share the same, you know, stuff, so they both go on cooldown, and it's annoying. And the ultimate, a lot of people say the ultimate's really cool. I think the ultimate is really nice if you want to just wipe out their Vanguard real quick, but I think overall he's just not the best when it comes to Vanguards, so I put him in B tier. Mantis is really nice. I haven't fully played as her. I've played as her in the practice range, and I have a friend who mains her. And, you know, just playing against her and having one on their team, I can say that she is actually really nice. I put her in A tier. And the only reason why she's not S is because Loki and Luna Snow exist. But I think Mantis is really cool. She has pretty good damage. Her healing ability is decent. I hate the cooldowns and everything, and that's what kind of hinders it a little bit. But the abilities are nice, and her being able to damage boost her or the allies and stuff is really nice, and I think it can come in handy for a lot of team battles. And if you know how to use her right, I think she can do some crazy stuff. But for the simple fact that the cooldown for healing and that Loki and Luna Snow exist, I think that she is A tier, and I think I'm fine with putting her there. Moon Knight. I actually want to start using Moon Knight a lot more. Even though I think he's, in my opinion, has a pretty high skill ceiling. I put him in A tier. I think that he's really cool, and, you know, I've seen him do some crazy stuff. He's pretty mobile, and I like the abilities that he has with him. and the damage output is insane. The ultimate's really nice, but it kind of falls for the same thing that a lot of people have, is a lot of the ultimates are kind of similar. You know, something falls down from the sky or comes up from the ground. It's not a bad ultimate or anything, it's kind of just unoriginal when you see it a lot with a lot of different people, but it still is nice, it still works really well, and I think he is a tier, a pretty easy A tier. Namor's interesting because the turrets aren't really that great. Like, I would rather just be able to do a lot of damage from my main weapon rather than having to set up 2 little mini turrets that are easy to take down and don't do crazy damage. I get, like, you know, you put them 2 somewhere, they're shooting at someone and you shoot at them, easy kills, but they're just too easy to take out. They don't do a lot of things by themselves, and because he has that, he himself doesn't do too much damage, and I don't really think it's worth it. I wish that I could just do a lot of damage with the main in the first place. The ultimate's pretty nice, but like I said with Moon Knight, it's just kind of unoriginal in my opinion, but he is nice. He's able to protect himself, he's able to stay out there a bit longer and everything, while, you know, with having the thing where the water goes around him and he can kind of float there for a bit. I think he's decent. I think that he's a B tier. I think that he is good and just kind of falls in comparison to a lot of other people. Penny Parker, she's just so underwhelming. Like, I would put her in B tier. She just had a lot of potential and I think it was ruined. I think of her more as like a mosquito than an opponent. Like, I just find her really annoying, and then you have to like swat at her a bit to, you know, have her leave you alone and everything. It's just, I just find her more annoying than good. So I'm just gonna put her in B tier. Hate me all you want to. It's my tier list. Rocket's a pretty good healer. He's semi-decent to play as because he doesn't have too much going for him, but he can be nice. I like the ability to, you know, be able to have that revive and everything. But for the most part, that's like all he has. The healing is like okay. Doesn't really do that much for healing. The ultimate it's decent, but I don't think it's really, just compared to a lot of other strategists, I just think he falls flat. I think that he is another B tier. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is interesting because when I was first testing her out, I was like, she doesn't really do that much damage, and you have to be close up when you do damage. Like, she's not really ranged. But when I played her in a game and got like 30 kills with her and I had a lot of damage, I'm like, okay, she is pretty nice. I think the fact that you have to be more on the closer up side than the far away side is a bit annoying. But the ultimate is obviously really annoying, but you can get shot out of it. People are learning how to avoid it now and everything, so it's not like super crazy as it was when it first released, but it's still a really good ultimate, one of the best. So I put her in A tier. Spider-Man, we're just gonna put Y. He, like, think of Penny Parker, like I said with the mosquito thing, but worse. Like, he's super annoying when you have him on the team because it's like Genji. They're gonna go off on their own, and then when you try to heal them and then you can't, and then they get mad at you for it, and it's just super annoying. It's a whole ordeal. Having one on the opponent team, it's more of like them trying to flank, but then you just have to turn around, smack him, and he'll run away more than it really is even a threat. And he's just super annoying to go up against. Star-Lord. I love Star-Lord. I really like the mobility that he has, and the abilities are really nice and fun to use. He's really fun to play. I think he does some pretty good damage, and the ultimate's pretty nice. I wish that the ultimate did a little bit more damage because sometimes it feels like I'm shooting at them for a good little bit and it doesn't really do much. So I wish that they would buff that a little bit, as well as the clip size. I wish that they would buff the ultimate a tad bit because I don't want him to be too broken. And just give him some more bullets in the mag, alright, so we don't have to reload so often. But even with that being said, I think that he is a tier because he's still really annoying to go up against, and he's still really fun to play as. He has really good abilities, and you're able to get a lot of kills with him. Storm. I don't like Storm. I'm gonna put her in C tier, and then let's get to the explanation. I know. You're all mad at me, but I just don't like her. I think that she doesn't do her job as a duelist. She's more of a strategist, and then even then she would be a bad strategist. I just think that they need to rework her. Like, the ultimate is really nice, the damage is bad, and I don't know, it's so like just weird. I don't like her, and I'm just gonna leave her at C tier, leave her there. Hate million one. Punisher, S tier, easy S tier for Punisher. I picked up Punisher for the first time and just played him and got like 34 kills. He's so easy to play, so easy to learn, busted as fuck. I know for a fact they're probably going to nerf him soon, but I hope they don't. He's really good. The ultimate's really nice. I like that he has the minigun and the shotgun. The turret is insane. The turret is so insane. It's so busted. I hate going up against it, but as someone who does it sometimes, you know, I gotta take the karma. But he's an easy S tier, best duelist, easy, hands down. Next up, Thor. Thor's pretty nice. I put Thor at A tier. I think that he has a lot of abilities, a super high skill ceiling in my opinion, but I think that overall he's really nice with it. He can do a lot of damage. He has a lot of abilities. He's pretty mobile, so even though he's a Vanguard, it still feels really hard to try and, you know, pin him down to try and get some shots in sometimes. I think that he is pretty annoying. I think that he is a pretty good A tier, so I think that he's pretty nice. I wouldn't really see myself playing as him a lot, but I respect the people that do play him, and I think that he is a good Vanguard. Next up, my Vanguard main, Venom. Venom I put in, it's either S or A. Actually, S. I'm gonna put him in S. Might be slight bias, but I put him in S because he's able to heal himself. Like, I didn't even know, but you can go down to like 100, 200 health, pop that, and then go straight to like 900. It's insane. Like, the amount of health and everything you can get and the amount of health you can instantly just get back even without a support is insane. And it's needless to say he's S tier, and he's also just really fun to play as. The ultimate's pretty nice. It's more of a pick off ultimate than what I see a lot of people try to do and just KO people. It's not for that. Like, a lot of people say, oh, his ultimate's not that good, it doesn't do that much damage. It's not really for that. I think it's good for like middle to end ish of the team battle, when they're kind of like 2 or 3, maybe even more if you're lucky, people that are just close together that aren't really dying but they're pretty low, so you can just pop that, boom, just kill them off real quick and get to doing the objective. I think that he's an easy S tier. Winter Soldier, I don't like him. I didn't like playing as him, and I'm gonna put him, I'll put him in C tier so I don't get as much hate. But I put him in C tier because I don't like that he only has 3 shots, and you need all 3 of those shots to kill somebody. So you have to be really good at shooting, and I feel like if they gave him 6 or 9 bullets, I think that he would, you know, be like a B tier. And his abilities just aren't that good. He's just kind of boring to play. Hawkeye is a character that I'm trying to get good with. Just like Hanzo, I've always tried to get good with Hanzo, but I just can't, and I don't see how people are good with him. Like, I've gotten some crazy kills and everything, but I can't consistently kind of pull those things off. I put him in A tier, and I almost want to put him in S. The only slight thing that's putting me away from S is the high ass skill ceiling that you need to land those headshots. You know, like, you kind of need to be able to hit those headshots. That's kind of, you know, driving me a little bit away from S tier, but I put him in A tier easily. And he's really good. Like, he has the abilities that can just deflect projectiles. If someone gets up close to you, you can just slash them backwards and then shoot him, and most of the time you just get a kill. I think that he is really good to just get off quick kills. And yeah, I think that I think I'm really comfortable putting him in A tier because I also do like his ultimate. And I think that, again, he's really fun to play, really hard to learn, like to get really good with. But if you're playing on a team with someone who's good at Hawkeye, you are most likely going to win that game. And if you're facing against a Hawkeye, you're going to want to scream. Psylocke. I don't even know if I need to really explain much, but she's an easy S tier. She's really good. She's able to go invisible, and she does pretty good damage, and she does pretty good damage from a far-ish range as well. Like, you don't even need to play super close up if you need to play it safe, depending on the situation. She's like a silent kind of killer, and by the time you notice her, half the time you're dead. And the ultimate, the ultimate, one of the best in the game, easily. Like, I've seen her pop an ultimate, not even know, and then my entire team's been wiped, including me. Think that she's really good. And yeah, she's just really fun to play. Love the abilities and love the character design too. So easy S tier, one of the best. Squirrel Girl, she is very powerful, and you know, she reminds me a bit of Junkrat, and yeah, she is very powerful. And everybody, like damn near everybody I know, put her in S tier, but I'm gonna put her in A tier. And the only reason why I'm gonna put her in A tier is because she's not that fun to play as. Like, even her abilities are just acorn abilities that just throw an acorn in some shape or form. So I just think for like the fun ability and the ability variety and everything, she kind of just goes in A. But she is very powerful, does a lot of damage, and is able to get some really good kills off, especially with the ultimate. The ultimate's pretty nice depending on where you use it too. You can have that bounce off for a good little minute and do some crazy damage. Black Widow, in my opinion, is just a slightly worse Hawkeye. If I'm not mistaken, I don't even think she can one-shot with the sniper. Like, if you headshot, I don't think she can. Think I'm remembering right, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But I think I'm going to put her in B because I put Hawkeye in A. I'm going to put her in B. I think she is pretty fun to play with, and if you know how to hit those headshots, she can be really nice and good. But I think that she just isn't really that powerful, and again, I think she's just a not that good Hawkeye. Next up, we got Iron Fist, and Iron Fist is so annoying if you're a support, because they love to live up to those memes that I see everywhere and just go after the supports. And but I think that he's good. Like, you have to put him in S tier. Like, he is so powerful, so good, so mobile. His abilities are amazing. I love the ultimate because it's just cool. Like, it's really cool, but as well as it being cool and having kind of somewhat good variety, but kind of on the variety part, it just, what makes up for it is just how crazy you can be with him and how fun it is to watch you get off kills. And when you're going up against him, if you're a support, you better pray. But I think that he's an easy S tier, and I don't think I've ever found one person who disagreed with that. Cloak and Dagger. I think that Cloak and Dagger, when it comes to strategist, is just easily not the best pick. Like, there's a lot of strategists that are better than them. Like, they are pretty good. They are, you know, everything, but I just think the healing output isn't that good. And the abilities that both Cloak and Dagger have with that like light screen thing just isn't that good in my opinion. And the ultimate is pretty decent, saves it a bit, but it's nothing like too crazy. So I'm gonna put them in B tier. Wolverine was such a letdown for me because, you know, Wolverine's really cool. He's D tier and the only D tier character. Like, he's just not that great. Like, he can be, you know, somewhat decent to be a Vanguard taker, kind of like Reaper, how Reaper's pretty good at being that tank destroyer. But I just think as a DPS, really, he doesn't really do much against any other person than being able to do some decent stuff against Vanguards. I think that they need to give Wolverine a rework and make him a Vanguard like they did with Doomfist. They need to do that with Wolverine. I think Wolverine really needs that. He feels really clunky to play as, and he doesn't really do too much realistically. And again, I think that if they reworked him a bit and made him a Vanguard, he would be a really good character. But for how he is now and as a DPS, I think that he's just really bad. And I never really see people even play him either. But with that being said, this is my tier list, and I ranked all 33 current characters to the game. And again, I will do a re-tier list later on once I get some more experience in the game. Opinions will change, more characters will be added, etc. If you want to, you know, do your own tier list, I will link the link to this in the description. And if you want to play this game with me, I also have a server for Marvel Rivals where, you know, people of all kinds, ages, whatever, doesn't matter, just, you know, people who want to come and enjoy the game and be able to get in teams quicker and make a lot of friends and, you know, enjoy this game together then if that sounds like something you want to do, then yeah, in the description I will also link down the Discord to that, as well as some music. I make music. I am a nerdcore inspired rapper. I do songs and raps for anime characters, and I'm on the road to 1K. I'm getting close. That's a pretty long ass outro, so I'm just gonna get out of here, but appreciate you watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.